Let's rank the breakout of these artistes now, shall we? Shaboozey, 2024. His breakout was astronomical. His song Tipsy is tied for the most weeks at number 1 with 19. 2024 was no doubt his year, but it might have relied too much on a song. Let me ask you this. Without mentioning Tipsy, mention 5 other songs from his 12-song Where I've Been Isn't Where I'm Going album. Or in fact, mention 5 songs from his career, other than Tipsy. Most probably won't, but you sure know Tipsy. Plus the fact that his biggest song maybe ever relies on a well-known sample creates a very strong case for D. But then again, months at number 1, nominations and wins at big award shows, big-time features and a massive tour makes you think different. And seeing as his album actually reached number 5 on Billboard with his songs Highway and Blink Twice also being commercially strong, maybe the heights of Tipsy is currently causing him to stagger at the top, hoping to fly and not fall. So, solid A. Teddy Swims, 2024. Teddy's case is unique in that his breakout lasted for more than 2 years. He debuted at the bottom and simply refused to leave. After years of underwhelming success, Teddy released Lose Control in 2023, an underdog song that debuted at 99 in Billboard 100. But by March 2024, it climbed all the way to number 1, climbing from rank to rank for 32 consecutive weeks, the longest climb in history. It currently reached 112 weeks in the Billboard 100, the longest in history. With all that success, you would think he would have a number 1 album, but his 2024 album, I've Tried Everything But Therapy Part 1.5, which actually was a deluxe version of his 2023 album, I've Tried Everything But Therapy Part 1, peaked at number 17. And while he received several accolades, headlined massive tours, and even had more success in 2025 with part 2 of that long-ass album name reaching number 5, 2024 still probably should have been bigger for him. Linkin Park, 2001. Linkin Park is probably the most S-tier that will ever be on here. In 2001, 3 genres were dominating the charts: rock, hip-hop, and pop. The internet was also exploding in global buzz and expansion with the digital wave rapidly rising. Prior to 2001, Linkin Park were obsessed with the internet, building a massive online fanbase under the band name Zero. When they released their debut album in 2001, their digital army was already stationed to request and play their songs. They didn't have just one hit. One Step Closer, Crawling, Paper Cut, and In the End, carried the song to number 1. In the End didn't reach number 1 because of a J-Lo song that was essentially a remix, by the way. The album was the perfect blend, appealing to both rock, pop, and hip-hop fanbases, the very 3 genres that dominated the charts. And then they did something that was unheard of in decades for rock music, and maybe any music in fact. They didn't have a single swear word in any of the songs in their album. Not one. Their album also came in on October 9, 2001, 30 days after September 11th. The lyrics of their song In the End, though written about their personal struggles, coincidentally suited the aftermath of the event. They seemed to just tick the right boxes. Retail-friendly project, a blend of the 3 dominating genres, the use of the internet that was rapidly exploding in global popularity, and a song that suited the explosive event of the 9/11. On top of all that, the dynamic vocal duo of Mike Shinoda and Chester Bennington was something not common in band music, as there's traditionally meant to be a lead singer. Hybrid Theory is the best-selling debut album of the 21st century. Tommy Richman, 2024. This is the one-hit wonder. You may say, oh, but he has Devil Is a Lie. Meh. Tommy reached number 2 in the Billboard 100 for his $1 Million Baby song, but his debut album Coyote, it didn't even get sniff of the Billboard 200. He intentionally left $1 Million Baby out of the album for a strategic move one should not want to ever be involved in. The album didn't even make the top 5 of the Heatseekers chart. The fact that he couldn't even crack the top 200 albums suggests that while people loved the song $1 Million Baby, they didn't care about the artist Tommy Richman. And critics argued that the nostalgic sounds he used in both his hits are the actual stars, not Tommy's own sound, seeing as those didn't do too well. And his supposed second hit? Less than 25% of the streams his first hit garnered. His other songs, none is nowhere near close to 100 million streams, indicating a downward trend that is just right for a one-hit wonder. In the making at least. Billie Eilish, 2019. Billie came in with a banger. Thanks to her brother, she came in as a fully realized artist, coming with a new sound and telling the world to fucking catch up. Her When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go album did wonders and broke records. The first woman and youngest person ever to win all the big 4 categories at the Grammys. She was the first person born in the 21st century to have a number 1 song and a number 1 album. She spent 9 weeks at number 2 before hitting number 1, dethroning Lil Nas X's Old Town Road and ending its historic 19-week run. With all its records, the most insane and maybe funniest thing about the album is that it was done in a bedroom. It proved that DIY projects could compete against industry machines. The success she faced could overwhelm any artist, but having her family as her managers plus the talent she possessed provided her with a pre-built support system that was stronger than the industry's pressure. That made it seem like she was an artist with the ability to follow up on the massive initial success she had. And she did. Everything just seemed to align. But still, after the period of depression she claimed to have experienced because of the sheer fame and success she got, you'd probably be thinking it could have been a case where it was more than she had expected or wanted. But nah. Justin Bieber, 2009. Any girl that was a teen in the 2000s will say A or S, but hell no. The marketing was there, the face was there, the swoop was there, the voice was there, but the musical depth wasn't. His songs were extremely simple, and even the song that gave him stardom literally became one of the most hated projects ever. He had the world's attention, but his talent wasn't fully refined. Like Neymar at Santos, with the potential to be iconic. All the buzz he got in 2009 to 2010 was due to his age, face, and heavy marketing, not his talent. C. Ice Spice, 23. In 2023, Ice Spice was a smash. She was the only rapper to land 4 top 10 hits that year, and won the Best New Artist at the VMAs, beating out Glorilla, Peso Pluma, Renee Rapp, Cali, and Pink Panthers. By the end of the year, she was like the main character of hip-hop, being in almost every discussion. But more than half of those discussions was not about her artistic ability. People were more concerned about her shaking and ginger afro. In fact, the fame felt curated by the internet's sense of humor rather than earned through a classic grind. She became a human meme, with discussions centering a lot more on her performances, which many considered low effort and AI generated. It was like Ice became extremely famous and successful for doing the bare minimum. People also couldn't understand how someone who had such a basic rap style was being put in the same place with industry machines like Nicki Minaj, leading to debates of her simply being an industry plant. So ultimately, a lot of the buzz and ubiquity Ice got was because people wanted to understand if she was actually a real artist or just a prank. Lil Pump, 2017. Everyone was talking about him. His song Gucci Gang nearly reached the top of the charts, and this guy became a millionaire at 17. But the thing is, Gucci Gang was a song where 80% of the lyrics was just the artiste repeating the title of the song. So a lot of the buzz he got was just about people talking about how lazy the song was. People already knew this wasn't gonna last, but buzz is buzz, I guess. Tyla, 2023/24. Another unique case, Tyla's breakout was a series of strategic events that led to an unprecedented outcome. Before the song that made her a star, Tyla was garnering all the buzz she could get to prove a point. That she was a musician. See, her parents felt Tyla becoming a singer was a waste of time and wanted her to pursue a real career. The said career was mining engineering. Tyla was already enrolled to study, but she begged her parents for 1 year. If her music aspirations didn't work out, she'd go to school. She spent this time period recording and releasing songs on social media, most notably Instagram. This was where her manager discovered her. She released her first single, Getting Late, in 2019 and had to wait to 2021 due to COVID to release the music video. When she did, she became viral in SA. Epic Records noticed and signed her in May of that same year, meaning she was already a signed artiste 2 years before her breakout. Between 21 and 23, Tyla was in a training camp where she basically was finding herself musically. Before Water, she already had a song on a hit Netflix show and even opened for Chris Brown, in his European tour that is. Plus, she had been working with a well-known SA choreographer to create the viral Water dance behind the scenes. So when Water was released in July, it became viral. But even for all her efforts, Tyla and her team didn't expect the song to do as well as it did. It wasn't even supposed to have a music video. The song peaked at number 7 on the Hot 100, the highest in history for an African female soloist. Then she won a Grammy at 22, the youngest African to do so. That was not expected for a debut. So you couldn't probably say the year could have been bigger for Tyla or that she sounded like she still had a lot of areas to improve. She became unprecedentedly huge from a series of intentional efforts. Maybe AS?